we will come back to some of the stronger trends. We could have taken a tea break, but Amulik is here, so we will just take it virtually. I'm quite sure Amulik is going to face a lot of challenges given the lockdown situation for us consumers, but we'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, hi. Good morning, everyone. Great to be here. So, Sunil and rest of the panelists, I mean, just to share our perspective, we are a young company. We are trying to figure out this scenario. It's a highly unprecedented scenario. But I think foremost, this scenario has allowed us to focus on the basics. Obviously, there is an immediate impact on revenue, and that can't be helped till the time the lockdown is fully over and people actually walk over to the stores. We will not see those kind of sales. But our online delivery sales, just to share a perspective, for the set of stores that we could open, because many of the stores came down into severe lockdown zones, our online sales have reached about 65 to 70% of the pre-COVID era for the same set of stores, which, especially if I look at the trust factor, which is hugely important in the F&B category, is broadly encouraging for us. So to share as to how we are thinking through on our execution plans, we are primarily doubling up on delivery. Our goal really is to ensure that our offerings on the online store increase dramatically. We are fundamentally a beverage anchored business, but now we are making a deeper foray into food simply because we are realizing that work from home scenario calls for an additional level of convenience, which the F&B players like us can offer. So traditionally, our sales have been highest on Saturday and Sunday, and they've been going to homes. I'm talking about our delivery sales. But now, work from home being the core scenario for our customers, we've realized that we need to increase our offerings so as to solve the convenience problem for people living at home. I think Neeraj also alluded, there was a big period when even maids were not allowed, and the amount of workload that specifically the ladies of the house, but now more so even men experienced around food making is something that all of those customers are looking forward to solve. So even in this lockdown, we introduced 10 new food products. We are actually launching 5 more food products in the next 1 week. So our food stack will go up. But fundamental to our business has been really communicating trust around safety and hygiene. Our very genesis as a business model lay in giving a hygiene, high quality, consistent experience to the customer. Chai has always been around for ages. So that was the core thing that we differentiated with. But I think this crisis has made us realize that with time, we can't forget that core value and we need to amplify it a lot more. So we recently got our second year renewal of ISO 22000 certification, which is one of the highest safety standards. This is the second year. We initially went for it thinking that it's a part of our legacy and that we need to keep on building on it. But the COVID experience has made us feel that it's not only just a placid legacy, but a very key competitive differentiator where we need to explain to our customers, communicate to our customers that safety is something which is systemically embedded in our company and not something that we are trying to embrace as a marketing gimmick or as an immediate survival tactic in these times. So safety has been our prime thrust, really. I will not spend time talking about liquidity measures, but frankly, for companies which have such a spread of retail as we do, we of course have 40% of our business on the B2B side. Liquidity was the most important aspect towards which we spent the first, I would say, 15, 20 days in protecting ourselves. We are here for the long term. So thankfully, we were well buffeted with cash. But most importantly, after that, we latched on to safety measures. So we had a campaign called GMTS, which is gloves, mask, temperature taking and sanitization measures. So in week 1 of lockdown, we introduced GMTS 1.0, where we quickly made sure that in spite of supply chain challenges, all our staff has these measures. And then we jumped on to GMTS 2.0, now where we are really changing the use of technology for walk-in customers to make sure that, you know, it's a complete contactless experience. There is a lot of focus now on design. To give you a simple example, we've got 175 stores. How do customers, when they walk in, open the door of the store without even touching it? So we can, of course, take a call to replace it with a sensor-based technology, but we can only do it for a few set of stores, and it's also a very expensive investment. But we could do a lot of changes to the design so that the customer doesn't have to touch the door to open it, you know. So design and GMTS, our core safety program, has been a big thing. Investing in our store staff or partners, Neeraj also brought it up. All our partners, the entire company is covered by COVID insurance, but we also took this opportunity to introduce a term insurance plan, which was not in place for every member of the company. Because first and foremost, we felt that our staff needs to feel safe and embrace operations under these environments, and only then they can really wholeheartedly give a level of confidence to the customer. Last very quick point has been technology. Technology is going to be embraced in a very rapid level. Online delivery, all of us are aware, was growing at a very rapid rate. But I think what will come out now, and we are not seeing it, of course, because stores haven't started opening, but my conviction is that in the next month and a half to 2, we will see a new wave of technology adoption inside the store. So how do you order without interacting with a cashier? I personally feel that the cashier role is going to be pretty much made redundant in the new times, or if not completely redundant, hugely compromised. In-store use of technology to deliver customer confidence is going to be another big thing. So, you know, this is just to quickly summarize what's happening in our world and what we are seeing. Talking about my lockdown moment, I think the most surprising part, intriguing part has been the way the teams got integrated across the company. I'm of course giving a professional context, but I never thought that a company which is as small as ours, but still spread across 7 to 10 cities, would get so tightly integrated using Zoom. You know, to be candid, I don't think people were as close amongst themselves or behind the details of the execution plan or the strategy of the company as they became during that crisis. So the power of online video engagement, Zoom or Google Meet and all these platforms to really bring people together in a very, very short while has been a big moment for me to really appreciate. It comes with its stresses. We all know we are sitting in front of the screen for 8 to 10 hours. But if you just take a step back and just appreciate how it has made everything so transparent and fast, it's quite amazing. So that's it from my side. Sunil.
Thank you, Amali. Thank you. I did not know that you had such a large food basket too at Chai Point. It's given me an option to order today. Thank you for that.